Hello, it is Road Dog Speaks, back with another video. First of all, I would like to start this video just by saying a humongous thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel since the last video I did. The responses and likes and stuff that I got back when I did my Keir Starmer video was just amazing, and yeah, thank you so much to everybody who clicked the subscribe button and liked the video. Really appreciate it, and hopefully can do more videos like that one, like the one I'm doing right now. So yeah, thank you guys, really appreciate it. And if you're new to this channel and you like this sort of content, please click the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and I will try and do more lovely videos like this one. So yeah, brill, let's get cracking. This video today, I really wanted to just sort of despair at you, really, at the general state of this government. It's really driving me nuts, and I just really want there to be a general election. I know there won't be, sort of looking at the timetable, but I said in my last video, I think it's most likely going to happen in October 24, but just because the state of this Tory government is just dumbfounding, and the sheer amount of incompetence, of greed, of corruption, it just stinks. Like, there's just so many things happening on like a weekly basis that it's just the rigmarole of like the 24-hour news cycle of one thing after the other, where, you know, something else has happened, and you know, where are they in the polls at the moment? They're still like really in the skids, which is a good thing. But yeah, like this, for example, like this latest scandal, you could say, of the schools that will have to remain closed for the start of the new term because of this concrete problem, this rack problem, because the state of the concrete is just really shite, to be honest. So it's like over 100 schools this is affecting, where the like structural integrity of these school buildings, because of the material that it's made out of, how it was built with this sort of aerated concrete rack, it's called, which stands for let me find it. Reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete, which is like a lightweight material. It's only meant to last 30 or so years, and yeah, it's got to a point now where they're sort of past their sell-by date, and are starting to cause, you know, dangerous risks in schools where this might fall on somebody's head. What is the government doing? Not really very much. I mean, it's reactive. Like I always say, this government don't, you know, sort things out in advance. They're not on top of things because they don't care. That's the real gist of it. Is the gist of this video, really, is that this government, because it's just so right-wing and egocentric and only thinks of itself, it's not thinking of the country, it's only interested in profiteering and making money. And I think it's got to the point where it's brazenly so. So this is just one example of many over the months and years, and I can think of others, you know, the state of the rivers and the waterways, where sewage is just getting pumped into like I said, rivers and seas and lakes. And you know, what are the government doing? Like they're lifting environmental protections and making it easier for water companies to pump the shite into the river because they don't care. Again, they don't care. They're past caring. Like I don't know how many times they have to prove to you that, you know, they really couldn't care less about people, about wildlife, about climate, about schools, about hospitals, about elderly people. Anybody that is not dirty rich or is donating to them, they don't care. They've run every single public service into the ground. Everything that used to be in the public ownership, Margaret Thatcher did away with, and she's got a bloody lot to answer for, because this is all of her legacy pretty much. It's so depressing. And what's worse is just they lie about it. They just lie, and then things happen, like terrible things happen. Like, you know, I was talking about schools and the concrete issue, and you know, there are inquiries, exactly like what happened with Grenfell. You know, they get warned about stuff that is dangerous, that is, you know, they should do something about, because it's a massive risk that's just getting worse and worse, and it's becoming a public safety issue. But then they wait until something absolutely awful happens, where it's literally putting lives at risk to the point where people die. And then it's like, oh, we now have to have an inquiry that goes on and on and on and on, these inquiries. But then, because it's not like a criminal case, nobody's held to account. And then all that happens at the end of these inquiries is that recommendations are made. Recommendations. And nothing happens. Because it's the government, and the government can get away with doing anything, and nobody is held to account, nobody is charged, nobody is sent to prison, nobody is fined. You can tell I'm really riled about this. God, I know I like to the point where I'm like ranting. I'm just going from topic to topic. But, you know, it again, like this, I don't know if anybody saw this week, but the RSPB, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, which is like a charitable organisation that has been an institution for years and years, got so fed up of just the lying and the corruption, and the stripping away of environmental regulation, that they just got mad and outright called this tragedy of a government liars, which they are. So this is basically what they tweeted. Liars, in capitals. Rishi Sunak, Michael Gove and Therese Coffey, you said you wouldn't weaken environmental protections, and yet that's just what you're doing. You lie, you lie, you lie, and you lie again. And we've had enough. And then there's a whole thread of them just giving examples of like how they're just taking away environmental protections for wildlife so they can like build houses and, you know, pump more excrement into the sea for their own benefit, for their own back pockets basically, and their friends. And it just goes on and on. They give example after example, and they say we need the lies to stop and the work to save nature in this country to start. Our member supporters and everyone who loves nature demand it. And then literally, it was so sad. Somebody must have whispered in somebody's ear or had a phone call from someone, because literally a couple of days later, they then sort of had to step back and renege on what they had. Because you can never call anybody a liar in government. Oh, heaven forfend, call someone who is actually lying a liar. No. So they had to sort of semi-apologise and say, oh, we're sorry, this falls below the standards that we set ourselves, and yeah, we're really sorry. But interestingly, not deleted their original tweet, which is quite interesting. But yeah, it's just a shambles, folks. I don't know what your thoughts about it are, but it feels like this government have just like decided not to govern anymore. It's almost, you know, we're like basically a year away from a general election, and they've just decided to wash their hands of this country and and just strip it of everything it's worth instead, and to the detriment of every single person who is suffering as a result. Then they're just choosing, ideologically by the way, to just not do anything, and instead of actually helping or supporting, it's just so reactionary, so based on, you know, outside pressures from other people, that they'll be eventually forced into doing something they don't want to do. And even then it's just like, well, I'd much rather profit off of, you know, this contract that I want for these houses to be built, or, you know, for this water sewage treatment plant to be built, or this coal mine to be built, because I've got personal shares, or someone I know has got personal shares, or the person who donates to me and my party and my campaign will give me money, and it's in my sort of political interests that this be built. They don't care, folks. They do not give a crap about the infrastructure, about the people, about the society, about democracy, about, like, you know, competent governance. They don't care, and they're past caring now. They're just like, fuck everybody that isn't me or my mates. And it's disgusting, the disdain and the contempt they show us. I mean, if you're still voting for this party at the end of the day, I'm so sorry, but like, I can't reach you. Like, you're past hope. You're choosing not to see it, basically. And I think that I've had enough, and I hope you've had enough. So that's all I pretty much have to say. That this government are a group of, they're a crime syndicate. That's what they are, and I am not ashamed to say it. So yeah, what do you guys think? As always, let me know in the comments. Give this video a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you all in another video. Bye.